Hello, it's Sheila Morgan from the Lightworkers Way again. And this time we're talking about the autumn equinox, which is on the 20th of March this year. The autumn equinox denotes the time of the wheel changing. It's the harvest's end, and it's a time of balancing. The actual day is in balance with day and night, so that's what it represents. It's for weighing what has been achieved and planning for what is to come. Also reviewing the directions and looking at what is needed in our lives. Earth's generosity is preserved, stored against the cold. Seeds, bulbs are set below Earth's surface. The sun will grow weaker and darkness will be victorious once more. So it feels like a bit of a celebration, but somber time, doesn't it, in a way? The focus is on grounding, protection, and celebrating the harvest. Mabon itself, which is it's the pagan name for the season. Apparently, Mabon stands for a Welsh mythic figure, and it symbolizes youthful energy and renewal. So I think that's appropriate at this time. They must have thought that was appropriate at this time. Ways to celebrate are, of course, the harvest feast, and you can make your own harvest feast with your family and friends, or go and join in someone's. So baking with seasonal produce, such as nuts, root vegetables, apples, and pumpkins. It's a time for foraging, going for nature's walks. Be careful what mushrooms, know what you're doing with mushrooms, of course, but you might like to gather some natural things to make a lovely altar out in your garden or a wreath, just celebrating the time of year. It's also about releasing ceremonies, to let go of what no longer serves you. And that's like the representation of the falling leaves that are around us. So it's rather nice to think of it in that way. It's a time for gratitude rituals. Write down blessings in a journal. Create a gratitude jar. That might be nice. Or send notes to loved ones. And how often do we do that? How often do we stop and tell our loved ones how much we love them and thank them for everything that they do for us and that they are to us as well. So I think it's rather nice at this time of year that's what we're thinking of. It's a time of fire and light because of the balance of day and night. And so you might like to light candles or host a bonfire. You might gather up those old papers that you've had hanging around forever and a day and just send them into the light. And it's to honor the shifting light as nights become longer. In Japan, there's a ceremony or a day that they're called Oigan, and families visit graves to honor their ancestors. So again, that's all part of the process of Mabon and the autumn equinox. The colors we can imagine, because it's the vibrant foliage of the reds, the oranges, and the yellows. It's the earth tones and harvest, the burnt orange, the chestnut brown, and gold. Brown and earth tones reflect the fertile soil, grounding, and the bounty of the land. And atmospheric and natural tones, such as the deep greens, the leaves that will stay behind. We might think of the plants and flowers for Mabon, especially the Australian ones of Banksia, Grevillea, kangaroo paw, and bottlebrush. Other ones are the delightful chrysanthemums and dahlias, salvias, and camellias. Then we might go into the crystals for this time of year. And this time I have prepared the crystals for you so you can actually see them. And the first one is the beautiful smoky quartz. Now, this is most probably the ultimate grounding stone to connect with the earth and transmute negative energy. And you can put it on your altars or grids. The next one is carnelian. And this is the beautiful carnelian. It's got a very, it is translucent, but only just because it's such a deep color. And it embodies the warm, fiery, and golden tones of autumn. It boosts motivation, creativity, and energy during the transition. And it's a good one to hold during this time, to keep it in your hand or your pocket. Citrine. So the left is the lovely citrine. I've only got a little piece, but it's very powerful. It represents abundance, prosperity, gratitude for the harvest, and it's one that you would hold as well or have in your pocket. So it's always imbibing you with its beautiful energy. Labradorite, which I'll just get my phone out of the way. This is a truly amazing stone. It's got such iridescent colors that flow through it. And I don't know whether I can do them justice here. But labradorite is ideal for navigating life transitions, transformation, and finding light in the darker, colder months. It's great to meditate with, and have beside you as you meditate, because it's just a beautiful stone. Red jasper is the next one that comes into line. And this one provides stability, strength, and grounding. It's always acted as a supportive stone, especially for the base chakra, and it's good to put on altars and grids. Moss agate, which is this beautiful little stone. I don't have big ones of this, but it's sort of white with threaded through like tree roots. Tree roots are going through the stone, and it strengthens the connection to nature and promotes balance. The beautiful moonstone comes in next, which is one of my favorite stones. I'm sure it's very popular with everybody. So moonstone aids in navigating changing seasons and supports intuition. Great to meditate with. Beautiful stone. And the last of the lovely crystals for this time is petrified wood. So as you can see, it was wood at one time, but now it's rock solid, and so it's petrified. And it's excellent for grounding and connecting with ancestors. So this you'd most probably put on your altar or when you make a grid. So those are just sort of an example which I'll be using in the center of my circle. I'll be meditating with them, and also if I've got other pieces that I can put in my pocket as I work through this time, because it's not just on the day that we celebrate, it's till the next season. So this time it starts at the 20th of March and goes through to the end of April. So herbs for this autumn equinox. For cleansing and protection, you might choose to make a little piece up of sage, rosemary, and thyme for smudging, because that will help to clear negative energies and create protection around you as well. Especially nice if you make it into a wreath with things that you've gathered from the forest, because then you'll have that beautiful smell of the forest plus all these protective energies. For ritual and abundance, marigolds for the light and yarrow, mugwort for dreams and intuition, harvest teas for brewing, rose hips, hawthorn berries, chamomile, and apple, and that supports the heart and spirit. You might like to choose some for essential oils as well. So if you want warming and spicy, choose a blend of cinnamon, clove, ginger, and cassia, because it creates a cozy, immune-boosting atmosphere. For grounding and earthiness, you might choose either one at a time or a blend of cedarwood, patchouli, frankincense, and myrrh, because it promotes stability, relaxation, and meditation. If you feel there's a need for cleansing and refreshing, then cypress, pine, and eucalyptus clears stagnant energy. And always you can use the seasonal citrus, which is a wild orange, as it's used for balance for the heavy, woodier or spicy scents, because there's always a question of not only having a heavy, but you need a medium and a higher blend, just so that it balances everything out. So it might be that you bake a loaf of bread and share it with family, expressing gratitude for everything you have in your life, walking in nature, perhaps leaving an offering, Lots of things that you can do that we talked about at the beginning of this YouTube as well. So it is a lovely time of year, and we do hope that you celebrate well with your family, with your friends, with your community. So thank you for listening. Do like and subscribe to this channel. It's completely free, of course, and share with lots of people if you can, and that would be lovely. So thank you for being here.